Less than 1 year ago, the 17-year-old from Detroit underwent a double lung transplant. Previously, Daniel had assumed that e-cigarettes were harmless. At least, that's what he had always heard.
I didn't think it was dangerous. I just thought the worst that could happen was maybe getting addicted to nicotine, which at that time it didn't seem like a big deal to me because I was just a kid that was doing stupid things. But yeah, I mean, the only really I just heard that it was a healthy alternative to cigarettes, like, oh, it won't hurt you, it's good for you, stuff like that. Like, it really wasn't true though.
The American boy is one of those vapors who have gone on to develop EVELI. This new pulmonary disease has been linked to the use of e-cigarettes. Daniel consumed the same products as his friends. None of them have experienced any issues. But for Daniel, in the September of 2019, his life took a dramatic turn.
That night I went to the ER, and this was the first day I ever had symptoms, and it just went like downhill from there, and I forgot everything that happened for 50 days, and I got new lungs, like literally just out of nowhere, just kind of happened.
Daniel's lungs stopped functioning normally. On an X-ray, healthy lungs will appear as black. As a result of the inflammation, Daniel's were white. In the USA in 2019, there were around 3,000 cases of EVELI, resulting in the deaths of over 50 people. The cause of this severe lung damage is thought to be the vitamin E acetate illegally used as a thickener in the e-cigarette liquids. New York's North Shore Hospital has also treated such patients.
We were very happy when e-cigarettes first came out because we were trying to get our smokers off of cigarettes. We used this as an alternative. We gave them nicotine replacement in this, and many patients felt like they were smoking cigarettes, smoked a lot less or not at all, and we were happy that this was a real alternative. So what this has turned into is very unfortunate for us because it was a harm reduction that has now turned into this unknown. So we can't in good conscience say that it's okay to use just nicotine replacement products because we don't even know if those are safe. The theory is that the unregulated THC mixed products are likely the biggest culprit, but we have patients who claim they have not done those and are still sick. So I don't think we have the full answer as to what's going on. And some people think it's the flavor, and some people think it's the oil that it's mixed in. The lung biopsies have given us different results for different patients, so we don't have a clear, consistent answer from that either. So until we know better, I can't say that it's a harm reduction.
For the lung specialist, inflammation in the lungs of EVELI patients is easily spotted on X-rays and CT scans.
You can see that there's a breathing tube here in the right, and here the lungs should be nice and black like this up here. And I can see by looking at this that the lungs are not filled with air, which is what they should be. Instead, they're filled with this dense material that should not be there. This is a CAT scan. We start at the top of the CAT scan. This looks very much like normal lungs starting at the top. And as we come down with the CAT scan, we can see more and more patches of white areas. Both sides of his lungs are involved. Both areas are getting whiter and whiter as we go down, making it very hard for oxygen to diffuse across these sick areas of lungs. You should never see the bronchial tree come out like this. None of it is good for our lungs. We know that in all of these products, patients' lungs are fighting to decrease the inflammatory response, fighting to clear what they're taking in. So the only thing that really your lungs are supposed to take in and is healthy for your lungs is fresh air, as you said. Everything else is a problem and causes lung disease, everything.
So these are the pills I have to take today on Sunday. I've already taken about 20 pills this morning at 8:30 and 9 a.m. I have to take 2 more at lunchtime, and then about 10 more at 9 p.m. Like, my old healthy body is now dependent on all these pills to even stay alive and be able to breathe. So that's one of the main points that kind of messes with me a lot in my head.
For Daniel's mother, Tammy Ament, the new situation means constant pill counting. She's glad her son survived at all. Since the incident, his immune system is practically non-existent.
It causes anxiety just to make sure that he's taking his meds when he should, to keep the anti-rejection. There's antifungal, antiviral, blood pressure medicine, lots of meds, lots. Like every kid at school, I feel like most of them have tried or are still addicted. His twin brother is still addicted. So it's really sad when you see that. He watched him go through everything and is still addicted to the nicotine and to vaping.
Daniel had tried a variety of e-cigarette products together with his friends. According to him, getting hold of them was no challenge.
It's pretty easy for people to get them, especially around here. Basically any vape shop or anything, like, they don't card and they don't really care how old you are. As long as you look like old enough, then they don't really care.
So what's happening, now that they've been around for a few years, we're beginning to find evidence in the population that people who use e-cigarettes have more heart attacks, they have more strokes, they have more lung disease. And, every year as we learn more, the risks get higher. And, I think we're not quite there yet, but in the end, I think we're going to realize e-cigarettes are about as dangerous as cigarettes are.
Professor Moon Shong Tang works at the New York Institute of Environmental Medicine. He and his team are studying the effects on mice of e-cigarette vapor. Animals that inhaled the vapor for 12 weeks showed damage to the DNA of the lung and heart. But what happens if the mice inhale e-cigarette vapor for an entire year? The researchers have also investigated this question.
The next step we did is that we expose the mice for long period of time, because cancer usually take a couple decades to develop, like a tobacco smoke, a couple decades to develop. So in mouse term, we let the vaping for 1 year, which is almost 1/3 of their lifespan. It's like 20 years or so in human term. So we let them smoke the vaping for 1 year, 54 weeks, and then we'll open up.
When the scientists looked at the animals' organs, 9 out of the 40 mice had developed a lung tumor. The scientists also found evidence of the possible development of bladder cancer. The nicotine from the e-cigarette had converted into carcinogenic substances in much the same way as in the burning of tobacco.
This is a lung tumor.
An alarming finding.
E-cigarette.
Nicotine appears far from harmless to health, as is claimed. Nor does nicotine vaporization appear to protect against nitrosamine formations in the body.
From our data, very strongly support nicotine is carcinogenic in mice and very potential in humans too. Because the mechanism they make cause a tumor is to go through the nitrosamine. And nitrosamine has been proven is an animal carcinogen as well as human carcinogen.
Despite the vibrant advertising campaigns and the cutting-edge design of the devices, e-cigarettes may not be as harmless as the manufacturers suggest.